Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again, time for your monthly Tarotscope readings for your North Node by sign and house for October 2022. Now, the reason I use the North Node as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that the North Node is your North Star. It's your soul path. It's what you were here to learn and accomplish and master. So it's much more relevant in readings to your everyday life. I'm going to connect to the energies in a moment, and I want to invite you to close your eyes, take some deep breaths, relax into your reading, and open up your energy field to receive any information that's going to be most relevant to your life. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, Pisces, North Node, or North Node in the 12th house. This is going to be your October 2022 tarot reading. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month, from the 1st to the 15th, and this side represents the 16th of the month to the end. Now, your overall theme card, the main thing for this month that's a big theme for you, is I got the world reversed for you. And there's two things that came to me when I saw this. Number one, it was like I was getting two distinct energies. I was getting that there are some of you that can see a lot of positivity and beauty and good things in your life, almost like you have certain aspects of your life that are working very well. For some of you, it could be your career situation. For others, it might not be the career. For others, it might be personal relationships. For others, it might be health. So there's certain things that you're appreciative for, but it's like there's a feeling of incompleteness in your world. There's a feeling of like you're working on more, and that can cause some impatience. It can cause some, even like stress. Okay. Now there's another group of people that feel like almost maybe like lots of things are not working in your life and that need to be revamped, more than just a few. And so there's these two distinct, energies that I'm picking up, but you're working on getting this world card reversed. You're getting it, flipped over. Now, the interesting thing is that the world card for me, and also the sun card, are two cards that are also positive when they're reversed. But when they're reversed, it's almost like a delayed energy, okay? Or it's an energy that is being hindered or somewhat blocked in some way. So that's a positive thing. It's like, that, let's say, a plumbing system is good, right? But there could be a clog somewhere, right? It doesn't mean you need to rip out all the pipes in the plumbing, okay? It's just a clogged pipe, okay? So it's just something that needs to be worked on. Now, the first half of the month, what I see happening is I'm seeing three different things for various people with this North Node, okay? You could have more than one of these three or just one of them that it's going to be a big thing this month for the first half, okay? Number one, okay, you've got for your timeline cards. The first card is 6 of Cups reversed. You've got Page of Pentacles, and you've also got the Two of Swords reversed. Now, what I'm seeing in this is, we'll take the first group, or the first energy that you could be experiencing. And as I said, it could be just one or more than one. What I'm seeing is that there are a lot of you that are really, really trying to make sense and heal from past emotional things, past emotional wounds. This could go all the way back to childhood, or it could be 2 weeks ago or a month ago. Okay, so it's something that we're dealing with in the past. It could involve relatives, it could involve friends, it could involve, you know, romantic relationships, more than one. But there's like this review of looking back to see kind of where you've come from, and there could be some healing involved that you're going to be, you know, working on. This is something that is important to work through and get a handle on, because as I use that plumbing analogy, okay, this could be something that is clogging the energy of your life, and so you want it like more free flowing. I'll give you a quick example with this. Okay, so when what your path is, being a North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house, is you're moving from the 6th house and you're moving from Virgo. So what you're doing is you are moving from a very physical existence, a very logical physical existence, into more of a spiritual life. That doesn't mean religious. That just means being opened up to the magic and the wonder of life, as opposed to, you know, like Virgo energy of like everything has to have a place and order. All the numbers have to add up, you know, all these things that you could get caught up in. Okay, I have to be perfect. Everyone has to be perfect. Okay, these are the things that you're doing, and you're making sense of these emotional wounds, hopefully through. And the other card that's going along with this is you've got this Two of Swords reversed. And this is linking in with this card, but it's also a standalone. And what this is doing is you are making sense of the fact that all of these things emotionally have gone on, and you're realizing that there is a beauty in the randomness and messiness of life. Like that's what the 12th house also is. And Pisces, it's like a, you know, Pisces, the two fish, okay, it, you know, ruled by the planet Neptune, okay, the ocean, the stormy sea. And the ocean could be, you know, a crazy tempest, storm, hurricane, you know, or it could also be very serene and, you know, calm waters, okay. And that, so this is what, when you, anyone that lives near the ocean or, you know, big bodies of water, you see that from day to day, week to week, you know, month to month, the ocean is constantly changing. It's not staying the same all the time. And that's what I mean by the messiness of life. So you're opening and saying, okay, I had all these emotional experiences in the past, and I went through this. What did I learn from them? What did I gain from them? You know, and it's just, this is part of what you're doing. You're bringing life's experiences and bringing them to a spiritual level. Now, the other thing with this Two of Swords, what I was talking about, is it's opening up yourself to the emotional realm of life, okay? This person is sitting with their arms crossed over their heart emotions, blindfolded, okay? So having to use, what does that mean? When you're blindfolded, you're having to use other senses, okay? Besides vision, which is most people's dominant sense, you know? So you're using your emotions, possibly even psychic powers, okay? And the swords, which are ruling the air signs, which is the intellect, okay, logic, okay? And what you're doing with this reversed card is opening yourself up. That's what this first half of the month is. So things are going to be, you're going to be processing things. And just remember, always keep the intuition open, keep the heart open, keep the emotional side open, because there's a lot of power in it for you in this lifetime. Even if it's uncomfortable, there's a lot of power for you. Now, the other thing that's coming up here is the Page of Pentacles. And this kind of ties both of them together, because what I feel like is there are a lot of you that are struggling with things of a physical nature. Everything from, finances, property, jobs, job promotion, could even be, anything physical, like even health, okay? And you're trying to make sense of it, and there could be some challenges. And remember, what I'm getting for you big time is the key for you is going toward that Pisces energy and that 12th house energy, your intuition, your instincts, your deep emotional intelligence. And your two cards you got for advice for this first half of the month is you've got the King of Cups and you've got the reversed Four of Swords. And that what this is telling you is really tapping into the emotional side of life and realizing the value of it. And with this Four of Swords reverse, it's telling you to make sure that you are not rushing too much this month, especially the first 2 weeks of this month. Learn to pause and process things, because there could be a tendency to move very fast through things, whatever it is, like always like a move. And that comes from that south node, the Virgo south node. We're ruled by Mercury, Mercury, the messenger of the gods. So, information, movement, quick, okay? So it's telling you, make sure you're slowing down and you're processing things. Now, the reason why the King of Cups came up for you is, and not the other, cups, is that the King of Cups is a master of his emotions. And remember, as I always say, the cards in the tarot deck are they are not gender specific. Okay, so anybody with any gender can get, any card, whether that be a king or a queen or whatever, male or female. However, we do recognize that there are masculine energies in the world and there are feminine energies. So what this is telling you is, this is saying that you're developing your emotional intelligence through all this, first and foremost, but you are also keeping that logical side in the gift you have, because with that Virgo south node or Virgo in the 6th house, you do have that very practical, logical, analytical side. So when you combine that and you add in the emotional intelligence, that's the key for you. That's how you're going to move through all of this. It's the balance between, the heart and the head. It's, the classic struggle there, okay? So now moving on to the second half of the month, for your timeline cards, you have the 9 of Pentacles reversed, you've got the Lover's card, and you've got the 9 of Wands reversed, okay? Now, I feel like what's going on for the second half of the month that is playing into this World card is, I feel like relationships for this second half of the month are going to play in big time for you, okay? And two things, okay? Not only relationships that are romantic relationships, but also relationships with other people in our life, depending on where you're at. Because, people sometimes ask, well, how could this energy apply to someone who is not in a relationship? And I always say, it's like, you can you can go through very similar things with people in your life, whether they be, work, family, friends, just like you do in a romantic relationships, because the people in our life, the relationships in our life are mirrors. They're mirrors for us, and they're learning. If you talk to anybody in life that has learned things, everybody will say their greatest learning came through the interaction of relationships, whether it's good or bad. Okay, that's where learning happens. Now, the first half of the month, I do feel like there's going to be something to the effect of, um, again, I'm seeing like finances that could be an issue. Anything to do with like physical property, it could play into this whole relationship scenario. Okay, you're going to work through this, but this is going to be one of the themes that is going to have to do something with, like I said, money or physical property, jobs, job promotions, something to that effect. And also, I got a big heads up for this Nine of Wands, okay? This is about the energy of if we're learning from our experiences as we go along. And I feel like what is going to happen the second half of the month for all of you across the board in different ways is, I feel a scenario is going to come up for you that is going to be something that has played out before in your lifetime. You may or may not recognize it. I feel like most of you will kind of recognize it at some point. You'd be like, oh, okay, I've been through something like this before. So it's an experience that has happened to you. And what you're doing this second half of the month is you're given another opportunity. You are given another opportunity to make a better decision when this situation comes up. So I'll give you a quick example. Let's say for some of you that this has to do with a friend, and as a situation comes up with a friend, and you've seen this as a pattern, like for a few times in your life, or it could be a family member, it could be a lover, whatever it is, okay? But you see this, okay, and then you recognize, oh, okay, this is very similar to, this situation that's going on is very similar to what I experienced, 15 years ago. And so you're given the opportunity to maybe not choose a similar path as you did. That's what this Nine of Wands is saying, okay? So whatever this is, okay, it's the overall theme, whether it's dealing with money and finances for you, or physical property, or a job, or just a, out and out relationship in your life. It's a replay of something that, a similar energy that has occurred before at a different time in the past with different players, you know what I mean? Different people that were in your life. And so it's up to you to maybe say, you know what, I've tried, that's what this is. I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. And that's why, he has a bandage around his head. He's taken all these wounds. But, have you ever seen a person, like you've known a person in your life? We all have had them in our life where they just seem to be making the same mistakes over and over again. And like we can see it because it's much easier to see, other people than it is to see ourselves, right? So that's what this is saying. It's like, okay, don't just act in the same way or take the same path that you always, have done in the past. Now, your advice cards are, again, what I just said is playing into it, okay? The Hierophant reversed, and you have the Fool card. Now, just what I said before, that's what these cards are applying. Your advice is, the Hierophant reversed this is a tradition, this is structure, this is, dogma, this is, rules and regulations type of a thing, but it's reversed. So it's saying, don't take the path that you've taken before. The Fool is going off into a new direction, just open heart. And yes, are there pitfalls when you take a new direction? Yes, there are. But never take new directions, we will never, get to those pots of gold in our life. It's always those pots of gold. If you listen to anyone's success story, it's always, taking a chance of, going in a new direction. And so that's what this is saying. It's like the big thing for the second half of the month is do what you haven't done before. Take a path that you haven't taken before, okay? And just process it differently as opposed to going back in old patterns, okay? That's what this is saying. So yeah, really, really powerful month, okay? And this should be, there's a lot of stuff going on astrologically. This should be very interesting for each of us personally and also on a global scale. So buckle up your seatbelt and get ready for a ride. And remember, when you follow your North Node, you are helped by the universe because it is the path that the universal energies want us to go to in this lifetime. Okay, so when we take that North Node path and we follow our soul path, we seem to be more shielded than we normally would. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you would like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below. We'd love to give you more information on that. And yeah, go make it a great month. Keep that heart open. Move toward that Pisces in the 12th house, and you're going to see some amazing things happen for you. So thanks again. Many blessings.